Hi guys, this is an introduction video which is going to be the start of a series that I'm going to do all about bipolar. It's something that I've lived with for a while and still do, and I just thought it would be interesting to go into more depth because there's quite a few YouTubers out there that are talking about bipolar. I've been doing some research myself and I found that you get different kinds of people that are filming about it. So on the one hand, you might get people that are really struggling with bipolar and struggling with the medication they're on. They might be kind of really sedated, really lethargic, quite slow with their speech. It can be quite hard to follow what they're saying. The quality's not great of the video itself. So yeah, I mean, that can be interesting and you can take things from that. But then there's also another kind of video that I've seen where people will show you, what does it look like to be manic, or what does it look like to be psychotic, and they'll actually film themselves while they're going through that state. And you can see from the outside kind of how crazy it is and what it looks like. But they don't necessarily explain to you what it feels like stepping back from that perspective. So you're like, okay, you're making no sense, your eyes are all over the place, you look a bit weird and sweaty or whatever, or pale or whatever's going on, but they're not really describing what it's like for them to go through that right there and then. And then you've got other people out there that are totally recovered. They may be having proper interviews with people asking them questions. They're really into helping other people with bipolar to recover. So yeah, they're kind of quite businesslike, I suppose, and very useful. But I haven't actually seen anyone where they've described how they came off their medication. And yeah, so there's a lot to be talked about. And in these videos, I don't quite know in how much detail it's going to go and exactly what topics I'm going to focus on, but I've written a list here which I think I might just go through quickly so you can see the kind of things I'm thinking about talking about. So here we go. I could tell you my story, what it was like in the mental health hospital for me. I could talk about lithium, medication and pregnancy, ideas around abortion, relating to bipolar and other mental health illnesses, getting a job after having episodes and what that's like, and the difficulties and yeah, things that I did to kind of get around that. I could talk about CBT and the NHS and how wonderful they have been for me. The pros and cons of CBT. I could talk about talking therapy and how I did that for about 6 months with a wonderful woman near where I used to live. Did that once a week and it was really instrumental for me and my healing process. I could talk also about general healing and how that happened for me over time, if you're interested, of course. The idea of taking medication for life, the effects of lithium on the physical body, what it was like for me coming off lithium after 2 years, which turned out to be my second episode. Going to Paris with my friend Andrea and getting high, that was difficult for her and for me. And what it's like for me now, as I'm stable, I'm level, my life is very steady. The amount of creativity that I have and the ideas that I can form in my mind, which at times has been hard. In fact, I think creativity and that side of things totally just switched off for me for about 3 years, which was extremely strange because that is just the norm for me, just to be able to design and come up with ideas, and that just totally wasn't there. So I can tell you how I got out of that. I can talk to you about my range of emotions now that I'm stable, what my emotions were like when I was sedated, what it was like when I was high. Then I can tell you about when things went toxic and I had a high toxicity level of lithium in my bloodstream, and I was right at the top end of the therapeutic range. And I can tell you about my symptoms and what that was like and how I made it go away, etc. Tips and tricks on blood tests, because I've had a lot of them, and it took me a long time to work out how to do it properly when you're on lithium, because the doctors never told me, and you guys should know. To get an accurate reading, olanzapine, which is another drug I've taken, which I don't take at the moment, its extreme effects on my life, which I could go into great detail if you want me to, and the possible idea of coming off lithium for good, and how scary that is as a concept, how it's something that I would really like to achieve for health reasons in my life. And I can talk to you about the seriously detrimental effects of taking lithium for long periods of time and even for short periods of time. And yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing these videos, is because I think it'll help me work out where I'm going to move forward with taking drugs, and some of the things that me and my family are talking about, how we might go about me coming off medication. There's a lot to think about, because I'm the kind of person that, one, does not want to go back into a mental hospital. Two, I don't want to disturb my family and my friends for a number of months, if not years, because of getting high again or going into a mental hospital. Three, I don't want to lose the few friendships that I've made since moving to France. It's very, very hard holding on to and keeping friendships when you've had an episode or you're high or whatever. It's difficult. And being sedated, you just have no energy for friends at all. So yeah, then of course, how I have the best amount of health and energy and vitality in my life on this medication. So I can talk to you about going vegan, being raw, why I'm doing that, because of the bipolar, and all that kind of side of things. So there's a lot to talk about. Please, please, please comment if you have bipolar or any other kind of mental health illness, and that you're interested in any of the things I've just mentioned, and then I can do those videos sooner. Also, if you don't have time to comment, you can click the like button, and that just shows me that, yeah, you're interested in, you know, what I'm talking about. And yeah, I could keep on going with this. I am a little bit nervous because bipolar isn't something that I talk about very much with people, and there's a lot of people that maybe I do mention it to, and they don't know anything about bipolar or mental health illness, or they haven't even met anyone that has a mental health illness like bipolar. And so that's another reason why I'm doing these videos, is because I feel like more people should know what it's like to have a mental health illness, because the percentage of people on this planet is just rising up and getting higher all the time, because we've got more stress in our lives and we're not being given tools to learn how to cope with it and how to deal with it and how to stay calm and happy and peaceful and how to find joy. And yeah, you can see I smile a lot and I could tell you how I do that. Anyway, I won't ramble anymore and I will see you in the next video. Bye.